Welcome back, everyone. Your loyal Captain Gare 100 has returned yet again for another video for you guys today. And for today's video, we're going to be continuing upon solo leveling Deku. And well, hopefully I need to get like a new video editor. If you guys have good video editing software, like type of apps below, because remember, I do this on my phone. I don't have a freaking laptop to do this on. So if you guys have got something like that I can download on my phone to make this easier, that'll be much appreciated. So, but as of right now, continuing solo leveling Deku. I've got much more videos coming out later on, probably in the week. We'll just see if my voice can freaking handle going through so much. And thankfully, I got something to drink right next to me, like water and whatnot. So that way I can I can keep my voice clear. But with that being said, let's not waste any more time. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Cue the intro.
Hey Ross, sauce it up.
So the last time we had left off with Deku, he was tricked into coming to All Might's agency where his power was exposed through Shinso by All Might, Aizawa, and Nezu. I don't know if Aizawa was there last time, but because I didn't go back and rewatch the video. But in case he wasn't, then we're just gonna say for the sake, we're gonna retcon and say he was, because Shinso is Aizawa's like personal student and whatnot, and he would be in Class 1A anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So after hearing about Deku's abilities, Deku has to be protected, from the hero agency, because they would stop at nothing in order to get him. But Deku honestly says there really isn't anything to worry about now, because he's already so powerful. There really isn't much for him to, cap out on. And like I said, he needs to, and like I said in the last video, Deku also needs to get Baru. So, we stopped at the Stain arc. So, at that point, it would just be the, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, the final exams, and then the Island movie. Dang, Deku will be able to retcon all that stuff pretty quickly, because there really isn't much for him to do. Because if you guys understand, over the internships in the Stain arc, which were already done by Deku, people would have to develop new moves and whatnot. But as for Izuku, he's already the perfect being, so there ain't much for him to do. So we're gonna have to start immediately after the Stain arc and internships. The intermediate test, I believe it is. That race that they do in order for them to realize their potential and see what they've done after they come back from all that stuff. Yeah, pretty simple, pretty cut and dry. But since Deku is at All Might's agency, there really isn't much for him to do. He just goes out being recognized by people as the hero of merit, Sun Wukong. And his name is pretty much being amassed everywhere, because this guy's really freaking cool. He rides on a cloud, he has his staff. He looks all around like Sun Wukong. And in case you guys forgot what Deku hero costume was, it's not the Sung Jin Woo cloak and whatnot. It's actually this. Yeah, if you guys look all around, it's the Goku outfit like this. I managed to find one with some color, but it's not it's not a clear cut and dry color that I like, but it still fits. So here you guys go. This is the color of it. The red, white, and there's some gold in there as well. So hey, that actually fits. Red, white, and gold is Deku's signature color, and of course the cape has to be red, and Deku's staff is gold and white, like I showed you in previous parts. So hey, and he's got the crown on. So hey, it fits. It really does fit. So Deku's name is starting to make a name for itself out there. But like I said before, it's time for him to go and get Baru. I'm trying to think what could happen here. But and this will be one of the rare instances where a gate opens up in the real world, because I think Baru was the first one. Yeah, probably. Okay, so here we go. there would be an alert on a faraway island in between certain countries like the USA and Japan, North Korea, South Korea, China, and Russia and Europe as well. Also, yeah, Europe as well. So why not? And it would be like a huge power spike, something that has to alert the heroes of something big is all the way over on that island. And okay, because of the I know it will be the final exams, like teachers versus students, but we're gonna have to push that back farther because of Baru. So that has to be pushed back as of right now. Okay. Anyway, what happens on that one? Basically, they send some monitors over there, and they see it's like it's an ant-like creature. We know this is Baru, but the heroes don't actually know that. Well, none of them actually do. And it has an army of what others seems to be monsters roaming around. They can tell that this thing just isn't human at all. Not at all. It's a complete monster. So all these countries that I just listed off call upon an alert on their top like 30 heroes. Yeah, the list from number 1 all the way to 30 in order to call upon for help. Yes, and so that means I'm introducing Star and Stripe early in this timeline because things like this, Star and Stripe just have to show up. So with that, and because it's Baru. Oh, also the thing is with Baru here, since we have a stronger Deku, Baru is actually, oh my gosh. Just to make this a bit more adequate enough, Baru has to be 100 times stronger than he actually is right now. So this Baru that is supposed to be in the beginning is actually like endgame Baru, like light novel in terms of strong, in terms of like the lore. So he's like solo leveling light novel Sung Jin Woo, like post awakening terms of strength and all that. So yeah, the heroes are pretty much gonna get their asses kicked in this one. Yeah, sorry, it's crazy. Oh, also recently Deku had just okay, you know what? Yeah, that's what's happening. So as the heroes go over to that island and pretty much try to fix the scenario, this leaves the students the certain hero schools. This leaves them with kind of no teachers, so they kind of get free time and off for a few weeks to train. And in the meantime, Deku actually gets an entirely new shadow. And let me guys show you that right now. This is Tarlock, the underworld's cursed one. Now, Tarlock here is mainly used. Okay, because iron does not really exist because Deku doesn't really kill people, Deku has to get a replacement. So this is Tarlock, but basically iron's replacement. So he's a big tanky guy, and he's oh my gosh, a massive crusher with gigantic hits. So he's basically a berserker and bruiser type of fighter. And yes, even though this guy is very freaking huge. So he's got specialized combat ability with a ramming ability and with a roar that taunts people into fighting him. So basically the same abilities as Iron, because Deku doesn't have Iron in this one. But a lot more tanky and bulky, and can do a lot more damage. So yeah, there you go, Tarlock. So anyway, back to Baru. All right. So as we continue on a bit more into the story about Baru, let's cut to how the story would actually begin. Well, not begin, but let's cut into the story. So basically, we would cut to the heroes' point of view, and they would be getting trashed by Baru. Dead heroes left and right calling for backup every now and then. They've got soldiers rushing in that just die like on impact because Baru is not even trying. First, they have to deal with the ants, with the mini ant soldiers. And that's already difficult enough as is. But you got Baru himself who just won't stop. And Star and Stripe and All Might are fighting Baru specifically. Like, well, actually, the number 1 heroes of all, like, the countries I listed are fighting Baru, while the others have to basically keep the ants at bay. And this is tough, because the likes of Star and Stripe can barely do damage to Baru at all, because he's just way too defensive. And even All Might with his new one-for-all status, like the new, kinetic energy buildup and then release into a massive punch, it does damage, but it's just not enough because Baru is just way too savage like and bestial like relentlessly attacking right back. So it's difficult enough to do something like this. And All Might says that they need backup like once more, but there is no backup to send. There is none left. And so All Might gets an idea. He doesn't want to put Izuku at risk through the Hero Commission, but at this point he has no choice because there's only one person that can beat this thing. And All Might gets in contact with the Hero Commission. Wait, no. All Might gets in contact with Hawks because he's the quickest way to get in contact with the Hero Commission. And Hawks gives them a name and basically tells them these coordinates. And Hawks at this point, because he's desperate, well, they're all desperate. They don't even think twice about what they're about to do. So Hawks rings up the Hero Commission, and the Hero Commission rings up Izuku. So where would Izuku be at this point in time? He would be at his house. Yeah, basically his mansion, because he has one. And he's basically in the house with his harem right now. Yes, Izuku has a harem. Go watch the previous parts if you haven't heard about that. And while like just watching TV genuinely having a fun time there, all of a sudden he gets a ring on his phone to an unknown number. Now Deku usually isn't one for answering unknown numbers, but at this point, why the heck not? So, pretty much answers, "Hello, is this Sun Wukong?" This is he. Why is? And then immediately Izuku would be immediately put in contact with All Might, and All Might would ask Izuku, like, would pretty much beg for Izuku's help. And Deku would stand up immediately asking what's wrong. All Might would say, check your phone for the coordinates. Please get here as quick as you can. And the phone would hang up. Crud. Deku would immediately close beam himself. Yeah, that's a reference. If you guys know where that reference is from, put it down in the comment section below. You get pinned for that. And it pretty much Deku gets himself ready as the coordinates appear on his phone, and Deku teleports there right away. He said he'll be back. He has to go now. Boom. Deku straight up teleports. He could fly there as quick. He could fly there and be there in 2 seconds, but he teleported there because he needed to be there immediately. Because if it's an emergency, he needed to be there. And then Deku sees this army of ants around them, like these heroes struggling and wondering what the heck is happening. And then this is when Aizawa, he would be winded, but he would see his Deku. And Nezu was in even Principal Nezu was there, in the background, wondering what was happening. But as Aizawa rushed over, Deku had actually went over and healed Mr. Aizawa. Oh yeah, he had also gotten another shadow as of recently before All Might and the others had called them. So let me show you that shadow real quick, and then we can get back to the story. Whoop! So do you guys remember this guy from the actual anime and the story? And if you guys don't, this is Min Byung-gu, an S-class healer from the actual solo leveling manga and the anime itself. Now you guys might be wondering, isn't he a human? How did Deku actually get his shadow? And let me explain why. This would be happening in one of Deku's regular gate explorations. This is what he was in a B rank gate, and he wasn't really trying to do much of anything. But after completing the gate, his system had actually went through an evolution. Now what do I mean by that? Now let's cut to Deku's perspective in the past when this was happening. Another gate cleared. These gates are getting easier and easier. Man, it feels like this is just becoming my job at this point. Attention. System is going through evolution. Prepare for system evolution into the Great Sage. What? The Great Sage? Affirmative. Initiating evolution. 3, 2, 1. Please stand by. What the? Until the gold and white frames turn it into a much more royal-like decor of a background of gold and white. Congratulations. System has evolved into the Great Sage. Welcome, Izuku Midoriya, Sun Wukong. What is this new development? The Great Sage, an architect type being able to analyze calculate, and adapt and evolve on the fly, better than the system, and evolutionary line of the system. The next evolutionary line of the Great Sage would be Raphael. Please stand by. In order to evolve the system, the Great Sage must go through more evolutions and gain more power. How much more power could I gain? I think I've reached my peak in terms of the gates. False. The great sage has achieved power beyond recognition. The great sage has achieved power beyond the logic of anime, but has not received all benefits of power within fiction. And then, so Deku kind of realized, because Deku can break the fourth wall easily. There is really nothing to worry about that with knowing how animes when fourth wall logic works. Then Deku asked, how much more can I evolve if I've pretty much gotten everything in anime? The simple solution is to move on to comic book fiction. Comic books? Affirmative. Such as DC, and the Marvelverse. Oh, Deku's like, oh yeah, how did I forget about those? Do not forget, other video game characters also have multiversal abilities and powers. Huh, that's right. How could I forget something like that? I mean, I have Kratos and Asura on my team. Oh man, not to mention the Doomslayer. Affirmative. The Great Sage will be required to go with. The Great Sage will be required to go within gates filled with comic book characters who have legions of abilities beyond the previous gates capabilities. Previous gates of rank E through S will still be applicable through the Great Sage's journey, but the comic book gates will be their own specialized gates. They will be known as the gates of white. Well, they will be known as the White Gates. The White Gates will have their own specialized version of them in their own specialized world. Anything the Great Sage does within that world will not cause harm to the Great Sage's own home dimension, but it will be felt throughout the multiverse as a drastic change. I see. Well, if this is the next step in my evolutionary line, then I hope to work with you, Great Sage. Affirmative. The Great Sage will oversee Sun Wukong's development into the strongest there is. Into the monkey of merit, the true Sun Wukong. Then let's begin. Affirmative. So anyway, so that's exactly what happened and how Deku's system had evolved into the Great Sage. The next step in his evolution will be Raphael, but we're not going to talk about that right now. What we're going to talk about next will actually, oh man, be quite crazy. Anyway, as Izuku arrives, he tells them, "Don't worry, I will save you." As Izuku arrives, everyone looks at him. Aizawa and Nezu, they pretty much walk over to him and they pretty much beg for his help. Yeah, I know. The heroes practically beg Deku for help because they can't really fight this on their own. And Deku says, "Don't worry, I will save you." As he summons like his shadow soldiers, oh boy. He summons literally the Hell Spawns, the Ghost Riders. Yeah, like I said, because I gave them those before. And also summoning the original God Killers, the Doomslayer, Kratos, and Asura. There was no need for summon all of them, but at the same time, he basically wanted to ensure that everything would be fine. Also Ainz Elgon, because he has Ainz Elgon as well. Deku told all the other heroes to sit back. He's got this. And as for the rest of them, because they're so injured, he summoned his healers, like Rimuru Tempest. What else do we got? Oh yeah, Min Byung-gu, because I mean, of course not, and Anos Voldegode. Also summoning his angels like Ikaros, Nymph, and Astria, making sure like they would be okay. So he would make sure that they would all be okay and be healed. So anyway, as Deku's pretty much army goes and fights the ants, they pretty much get destroyed. The ants get destroyed, I mean. There's no use in trying to fight Deku, because since Deku is literally the compilation of all Sun Wukongs in history, throughout human history, and yes, I also mean the Lego versions as well, Black Myth Wukong, and the actual mythological Sun Wukong, that's, you know, like I said before, Deku's a comp Sun Wukong, so there really is no specific version that he is, he's all of them combined, and pretty much he's his own Sun Wukong version, because, well, I've created this one, specific one. Okay, so Deku's army pretty much destroys the ants, and as All Might and Star and Stripe are pretty much done, Baru is barely hurt at all. Like barely has barely a few scratches on him. And that's when Deku arrives on the scene. And all of a sudden Baru gets a kick to the face and gets sent flying. And then like he pretty much levels himself, but when he looks back up, this is what he sees. So you're the one causing all this trouble. As Baru gets back up, Baru feels this, like everyone on this entire island, no, screw that, the entire planet feels this presence, this unknown wave of fear. And I mean everyone on the planet, they feel this. This even reaches to other universes, through the gates that Izuku went, the Dragon Ball verse, Record of Ragnarok, Naruto, One Piece, One Punch Man, everything. They feel this. They feel this unmistakable, this feeling of fear. What is this? And this is how Deku looks as of right now. You can only see his eyes, those bright golden / oranges or amber eyes, whatever. Now you listen here to me, you ant. I don't appreciate you attacking the ones that are supposed to be protecting this world. And if you have any say about how we run things here, then you're gonna have to go through me for that. As Baru tries to stand back up, but can't. It's almost like that orc or that goblin general, like in the actual manga. We haven't seen it in the anime yet, but it's when like that goblin or orc general had tried to kill Sung Jin-woo's sister, and yeah, struck with that unparalleled amount of fear. It's scary. So like, but then this is Baru, by the way. So Baru like has to fight off the fear and tries to rush at Deku, only for Deku to like one punch Baru. You know how Saitama first met Boros and he just straight punched him back into the pillar or something? That's pretty much how Deku pretty much did it. One punch sent Baru flying and did significant damage to him. And oh boy, let me tell you right now, this fight is pretty much one-sided. Let me show you how much of a one-sided ass beating it goes. Now, obviously, this here is not my video, but hey, at least I could show you what it looks like. So this is pretty much Deku humiliating Baru right here. Yeah, that's pretty much how that goes, and it's Deku still not even trying. So right now, Baru is struck with this intense wave of fear because he knows he's being dominated right now, and he can tell that Deku isn't even trying. Like, all the heroes are seeing this, and they can tell Deku's not even close to even giving him a glimpse of his full power. Deku's using like what, 0.00 infinite zeros, 0 to the infinite power, 0.1% of his power. Not even close, remotely close of anything he can do. Baru realizes that he is absolutely screwed, but then he uses like a power up to go into like his super mode or berserker mode, whatever. But then Deku calls his healers. Deku calls like Min Byung-gu, and he tells Min Byung-gu to use like buff magic on him. And you guys might be saying, buff magic? And yes, in case you guys don't remember, let me go and get a video to explain that for you. Alright, I have a video for you guys, and once again, obviously not my video, so don't take, still, it's an informational video, but it's still not mine. So let's go.
The fourth type of hunters are known as healers. As the name suggests, healers are hunters who specialize in healing magic. They differ from other classes as they mainly serve as support and depend on hunters from other classes to protect them during raids. While their primary role is healing other hunters of their injuries, healers can also use buff magic to boost their own abilities as well as those of their allies. However, because they prioritize support over offense, they are generally at a huge disadvantage in battle. Lee Juhee is a good example of healers, as she was introduced to us very early in the series. Juhee is a B-rank healer and one of Jinwoo's old friends. She is a skilled healer and was able to heal Jinwoo on multiple occasions with little trouble. She can also use buff magic, as we saw when she gave Jinwoo a haste buff and a power buff to Song Chi-yul during their encounter with Kang Tae-shik. And while Juhee is an excellent healer, the best healer is none other than the S-rank hunter, Min Byung-gyu. Byung-gyu is a master at healing magic and can almost instantly heal his fellow hunters even from severe injuries, as shown when he instantly restored Baek and Dongwook to perfect health after the Ant Queen covered them in poison. He was also able to regenerate Dongwook's arms after they were torn off by the Ant King, and effortlessly healed Hae-in from the brink of death after Jinwoo summoned him. And since he's a healer, he can also use buff magic to boost the ability of his friends through his spellbook. Byung-gyu isn't just about healing and defense, as he once claimed that he has the combat ability of an A-rank hunter. He also has a unique ability known as Disguise, which is similar to the stealth ability of assassin-type hunters. By using Disguise, he is able to blend in with his surroundings and hide all traces of his presence to make himself invisible. However, unlike stealth, when Disguise is active, the user can't move, making them an easy target if the enemy can locate their position. The fourth type of hunters are known as healers.
So pretty much that's how it goes. And Deku is pretty much using buffs. Deku pretty much using buffs. He doesn't need them, but he just wants to style on Baru a bit more. He wants to style a bit more just to show how busted he really is. So yeah, Deku is using buffs now, and keep in mind, I wish I could show you the buffs that Deku is using, but I don't want to get copyrighted. That's the thing. I really don't want to get copyrighted. Screw it. If I get copyrighted for this, then it'll let me know because I'm not trying to get money off of this yet. But still, I haven't reached 1,000 subs yet. So we'll see if I do get in trouble for this. But if I get copyright claimed, then I can show the video. I just won't claim anything off of this. So let's just go. Let's see if I can show a video like this. All right, guys. Here we are. You know what's coming up. You know what I'm about to do. You guys have seen this probably a whole bunch of times. And Deku, oh lord, let's just get to the buffs. Let's see. If I can show you the buffs, then you guys must be seeing this right now. But if I can't, then oh well. Here we go. Let's see what we got.
私はアインズールゴンならばその名にかけて敗北はありえないボディ・オブ・イファルジェント・ベリルやはりそうか完全な敵対行動とみなさない限りは戦闘準備にすら入らないまるでゲームだなならばシャルティア悪いが戦闘開始までそのまま待っていてもらうぞフライブレスオブマジックキャスターインフィニティウォールマジックウォードホーリーライフエッセンスグレーターフルポテンシャルフリーダムフォールスデーターライフシースルーパラノーマルイントゥイショングレーターレジスタンスマントオブカオスインドミタビリティセンサーブーストグレーターラックマジックブーストドラゴニックパワーグレーターハードニングヘブンリーオーラアブショーオブションペネトレートアップグレーターマジックシールドマダエッセンストリプレットマキシマイズマジックエクスプロードマイントリプレットマジックグレーターマジックシールドトリプレットマキシマイズブーステッドマジックマジックアローさあ行くぞ
I want you guys to know, there was no reason for Deku to stack that many buffs upon himself. Deku could have easily beat Baru in his base form without doing anything. He just wanted to style on Baru, just to show how outclassed he really was. And to pretty much show every hero how outclassed they are if they were to actually try and fight him. Oh boy. But here we go. The fight will be pretty much one-sided. It's not even exciting like Sung Jinwoo versus Baru at all, where they exchange blows. No, Deku is is pretty much smacking Baru around. And every time Baru hits Deku, Baru takes damage, and Deku is not even trying. Deku is even thinking maybe he went overboard doing this. He's thinking in his head, okay, maybe I went a little overboard. Nah, this is fun. Because remember, Sun Wukong, he's got that cocky attitude and a bit of a trickster and a little demon inside of him. Pause on that one, but still. Hey, but Deku is him, so guess what? Let him act the way he wants to act. So Deku just beating the shit out of Baru, and finally Baru is like on the ground, a bloodied up corpse and everything, until he finally dies. And that's when all of the buffs, basically Deku turns them off. There was no need for him to have that many buffs on him. Deku could have had a haste buff or just a simple power buff, and it would have done the same thing. Or you could have just fought in his base form without any buffs at all, and he still would have won. Granted, it would have been a tiny bit more trouble, but he would have just had to put a little bit of more effort into this. But still, yeah, why not? All right, so let's see what we got here. So as Deku looks behind him, the heroes are awe-stricken at what they just saw. But Deku just says, "Hold on, I'm not done here yet. What do you?" Arise. And then boom. You know what? Nah. Deku's word isn't arise anymore. He upgraded it. You want to know what it's called now? Awaken. It's called Awaken. And then all of the ants and even Baru wakes himself up, and Baru asks for a name. And obviously, since the Ant King doesn't really have a name, Deku obviously calls him Baru because it fits. Baru Baru. Baru, your name is Baru. Thank you, my lord. And hey, it works. So finally, as things are all fixed now, but as the heroes come and just around Deku and wonder just what the heck is his power, Deku said he can't tell them that. But still, they wonder how is he not a pro hero just yet. Deku says, well, he hasn't gotten his official hero license, Principal Nezu says they need to fix that right now. As in, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean right now? Oh my gosh. No matter how much Deku has to get his hero license, they're going to put Deku through the licensing exam early in this timeline. As I said, I would do that last episode. So this is how it would go. What? Because it's pretty cut and dry. Deku needs to be a recognized pro hero right now. There's just no way he can't be, especially after this. Because they can't. The heroes cannot take credit for this. He has to be recognized for his deeds, and this has to be. And even though the hero killer was his first one, this is his first major one. So they're gonna give all the credit to Deku for this one, because no lie about this. And crazy enough. I don't really want to say anything. Oh, wait. Hold on, I'm trying to think for a second. Nah, screw that. I don't want to mess up the timeline even more. Or you know what? I can and just say fuck it. You guys want to know something Hawks was doing that was kind of stupid? He didn't realize this, but he was recording the entire, fight and everything live. And it was being broadcasted everywhere throughout Japan. Yeah. All of Japan was seeing this. He thought he was sending it to just the Hero Commission, but nope. It was a live stream everywhere on Japan, so everyone saw what Deku had just did. And I mean absolutely everyone. And let me tell you right now, everyone is jaw-dropped. Bakugo is pissed, though. He's absolutely pissed. So the entirety of Japan, and pretty soon the entire world, will know exactly who Sun Wukong is. Holy shit. Okay. So this is just insane. But since they don't know since nobody knows that Hawks is Hawks thinks he's only sending this transmission to the Hero Commission, so he doesn't know that he's about to literally fuck up the entire world by showing this ability of Deku's here. So the heroes are starting to wonder, what are they going to do now? The world has suffered a great loss of heroes, and now there really isn't much they can do. And Deku just says, "Oh no, please allow me." What do you? Wait, hold on. That's not a good snap. There we go. Snaps his fingers, and then a huge pillar of light shoots around the island, off the island, and into the dang sky, piercing the dang heavens themselves. And then all of a sudden, all the heroes that were actually dead had just gotten right back. Were all of a sudden back to life. They had been revived. What the? With all of their memories and perfectly healed as if they never died at all. And this just shocks the entire world completely. There's no way. There's just no way. And Deku just says, "There you go. I've revived the dead and restored all of their wounds. So they should have no complications as they walk off." And Principal Nezu walks up. "You can revive people from the dead? Only those that have died within 24 hours." That's a lie. That's a lie on Deku's part. He can revive anyone he freaking wants, but he just doesn't want people coming at him. He doesn't want anyone coming at him saying he can, asking him to revive this person or to revive that person. So yeah, Deku just says only the people that have died within the last 24 hours. So you get a full day for me to bring you back to life. But if you died after that, at the 25th hour, sorry, I can't do sorry, but you're permanently dead. I can't really do anything based on that. Which kind of leaves All Might in a sad state, but Nanashimura's been dead for years now, so might as well just keep it that way. But anyway, the heroes pretty much thank Midoriya, and there's pretty much no, oh my gosh, just wait till the next part happens. As Deku pretty much returns to Japan, as pretty much he's walking through the street, like patrolling like normal, pretty much everyone recognizes him immediately. They start like asking questions, getting pictures, getting autographs, Sun Wukong this, Sun Wukong that, banners, merchandise, everything. What the? And Deku wonders what's going on. And okay, craziest thing is, you got some people from UA themselves, and even other pro heroes wanting to get pictures and autographs from Deku. What's happening? And that's when they show that Deku's abilities have been live streamed and showcased. Who live streamed it? And they reveal it was from Hawks. Shit. Deku didn't want his powers getting out there too quickly, but he's not really scared. He's already got like his abilities far beyond what anyone is capable of, so it's not like they can threaten him in any way, which is what's about to happen next. So next will be the final exams of the students versus the teachers, but let's be honest here, there's no one that can try Deku, so they immediately just pass him. Also, you know what? There's something I've been wanting to do for a while now, and it's about time. The Hero Commission, I mean, Deku is already on the Hero Commission's radar, but after seeing what he could easily do, and reviving people from the dead, having these multitude of powers, how could they not want to talk to him in person? There's no way. They can't deny this anymore. He has to be seen now. Like, they need to talk to Deku. There is no negotiations about it. They have to see him. So after a few weeks being back in Japan, well, after a while now, and Deku getting like messages from heroes all over the world, like Star and Stripe because he met her in person, like South Korea's top hero, China's top hero, like Russia and even Europe. They all like want to exchange contact info with Deku and said they should train with them sometime, like just to so they could take Deku under their wing and just teach him more skills, get him more experience. I mean, Deku doesn't really need that, but he appreciates that and says whenever he can, he will gladly come to them. He just send him the coordinates and he can teleport over there pretty quickly. Oh boy. Until Deku gets a knock at his door, because he lives on his own in a house now. Well, in a mansion, but hey, it matters. Oh boy. Oh yeah, I almost forgot one hero's reaction. But you know what? Later. When Deku opens the door, it's actually Hawks. Hawks? What are you doing here? And Hawks just gives Deku a letter. Well, wait, you know what? Nah. Hawks just tells him the Hero Commission wants to see you. As in, yes, right now. Alright, let's not keep them waiting. Deku just yells into his house that he'll be back shortly. And whoop! So Deku pretty much gets into this personalized car, and he's on the way with Hawks. And Hawks tells him he should probably wear his hero costume for this, and Deku just says, "Oh, I've got this." He does another clothes beam on him, and instantly he gets his hero costume of Sun Wukong on. Pretty convenient. Yes, sir, it is. And alright, there we go. Finally, they make it to the Hero Commission building, where Deku walks into the room, and it's the top 10 the top 30 heroes of Japan, and you got the Madam President, and you got the actual Prime Minister. I think that's right. I'm not sure. Whatever. Moving on. And finally, Deku walks into a seat that was made for him, and he sits down. And sorry guys, long pauses. I'm trying to think. Oh wait, give me 1 sec to think real quick. Okay, I finally got an idea. Welcome, Izuku Midoriya. Or is it the hero of merit, Sun Wukong? Deku just waves his hand and says, whichever is fine. I don't whichever is fine. It's just a hero name, and my real name is still a thing, so it doesn't really matter what you call me. Alright, we'll just say Sun Wukong we'll just keep Sun Wukong for the hero name. Alright then. Are you aware of why you're here? I can take a wild guess, but well, it would be too accurate to be a wild guess. But I do want to hear you say it though, just to confirm my suspicions. Your abilities far outclass any other pro hero that we've ever had in the Hero Commission's database. Well, should I say ever in our time at all, as heroes. And your abilities lie on the side of breaking reality as a whole. Now, the people shouldn't have seen what they saw you do, seeing as how you can revive the dead in under 24 hours. Well, wait, no, revive the dead within a 24-hour time span. But still, your abilities upon the insert whatever the fuck of the island name is, defeating the Ant King and his soldiers, and recruiting them as your own subordinates has also garnered our attention. Deku nods his head and says, "Yes, but that wasn't the only reason you wanted me in here. I've been on your radar for a long time. This was just, well, an excuse to get me in here as quickly as possible." As the Hero Commission, the Madam President nods her head, and this isn't exactly what you think it is. We just wants to know where your loyalty lies in all of this. Deku just pretty much gives a simple answer. My loyalty lies within myself and the people. I genuinely want to be a hero because I want to help people. There really isn't anything more than that. And well, and the Prime Minister would speak up. And about those strange abilities you possess, their applications and associations. Just how any quirk works. You train it hard enough, it can gain multiple. There are multiple things about it that not even the user itself may know. They look on of suspicion at Deku, until Endeavor couldn't contain it anymore and spoke up. We've had enough of you being cryptic with us, boy. Speak up. What are your abilities down to what are your abilities down to the last minute detail? We need an explanation. Deku looks on with an eyebrow raised up, and he pretty much laughs like Sun Wukong. Oh man. No comments. Like, no comment. You don't get to say no comment. If we want an explanation, you'll give us one. No. Deku just like, nah, don't want to. Openly disrespecting heroes and whatnot. Like you dare disrespect me? Do you know who I am? What, like, did those ants care for who you are? No, they really didn't. And it really wouldn't matter if you died now, would it? Because it still wouldn't have mattered in the long run. We wouldn't be having this conversation right now. And after I healed you the other day. Way to keep that same energy, Endeavor. This made Endeavor have a deep glare at Deku, but Deku is not intimidated in the slightest. He knows that there isn't shit anyone can do to him at this point. Deku might. And then the Prime Minister speaks up. You speak with utmost confidence as if nothing really can harm you, but you do know the type of power and influence everyone has. Deku nods his head. Yes, I understand. You could do multiple things that could easily tarnish my reputation and others. But even so, I have counter arguments for that. Would you really want to get on the bad side of a guy that literally that messed up most of the top 30 around the entire world, and there was a few hundred soldiers that could do the same? And not only that, you've seen the army I carry around with me. Would you really want to piss a guy off like that? And and want to turn him to the villain side. 2. Even targeting the people I care about would also be a very dumb idea, because I have specific soldiers looking out for them, and they would protect them with their lives. And making sure no one within 50 feet would even dare try to threaten him. And anyone with any type of ill intent would be dealt with swiftly. And third, I'm him. You're him? I know you guys aren't stupid enough to try anything against me. It's crazy because he dares talk to the Madam President and the Prime Minister like that. But, Deku is him. He has the balls. He knows damn well no one's gonna try some stupid shit like that against him. Unless you want to get fucked up by Sun Wukong himself, you will not do anything stupid. You'll let him do what he please. And the Madam President is irritated at this and says and yells, "You can't go around just doing as you please. There are rules and regulations to everything, and they must be monitored. You'll have to answer to us as to what powers you can use and what you can do around the town. As the people gets word of this, you'll be a target for everyone." Deku honestly, and this response, Deku lets out a full belly laugh right now. He's just dying of laughter. Oh man. He just says, "I don't care." He laughed in everyone's face, and he just says, powers, regulations, rules, all that shit needs to be changed anyway. People can't use their quirks out in public because of fear. Well, that's why he's going to change that. Soon there will be no quirk discrimination, no mutant discrimination, no any of that. People will be free to use their quirks as they please, as long as they're not hurting anyone. But yeah, but as far as rules and regulations go, nah, I'm not gonna do any of that. What are you going to do? Whatever the hell I want, within reason and right. Like, you can't just, this conversation's getting us nowhere. As he stands back up, are we done here? Because you're not gonna change my mind, and you're not going to be able to force me upon your ways. And if you even try to add trouble upon my way, Deku has a deepened glare again. I'll see to it personally that you never see the light of day again. And believe me, my soldiers will do anything I ask, even if it's torture and keeping you alive. That's when everyone feels a tangent of fear. All the top 30 pro heroes, they fear Izuku. They don't want to they don't want to piss him off. Very, very well. But if you're going to go out basically doing whatever you please, then here, take this. Like, the Madam President throws a card at Deku and he catches it. That's your official hero license. At this point, you're recognized among the ranking system as the hero of merit, Sun Wukong. Ah, thank you. I didn't actually think I would get this for a while. Well, considering your abilities, everyone's already going to announce you. And this is when All Might stands up and says something. He wants to personally announce Deku as the next #1 hero. Me? Be announced by the previous #1 as to now the current #1? As they nod their heads. Deku, honestly, he would love this, because this is a dream of his, being announced as the #1 hero, and he's not even out of college yet. Deku says he couldn't do something like this, but All Might has to insist. The next generation has to know that they can count on Izuku. But, well, alright then. Deku's heart is beating wildly in his chest. The glare immediately goes away, and it goes to a nice smile. So, honestly, you know what? Let's just cut to that. It'll be a few days later, where All Might is coming up to a podium, where it's being broadcasted all over throughout Japan. And here's how the speech would go. I'm sorry, guys, but I've got to do it. All Might's retiring as of... Well, All Might's... He's still going to be a pro hero, but he just can't be the #1 hero anymore. Here we go. So, let's do this. All Might would announce himself. Greetings to all of you lovely people of Japan. My name is All Might, or better known as Toshinori Yagi. I have been your #1 hero for many years, and for many years I have kept you safe. I have been the symbol of peace, and pinnacle of justice. But as of now, I realize that my time has come to an end. Due to the recent developments of a new hero in the making, I've decided that he has now set the new standard for heroes, and I realize that I cannot stay within managing this new line of heroes if I've been surpassed already. So to you lovely people, I will have to say that effective immediately, I'm going to be retiring from the #1 hero position, as this would like completely shock everyone of Japan. They're losing their symbol of peace. But do not worry, as I have personally chosen the new symbol of peace and justice. He will take over my place and lead the new generation of heroes into the next era. As All Might announces who he is. And finally, Deku emerges. Deku comes out with his hero suit on, and not this, but he does have his staff in his hand, and he gives them that signature smile. Greetings, people of Japan. I'm your new symbol of peace and #1 hero, the hero of merit, Sun Wukong. Nice to meet you. As everyone pretty much like is happy to see Sun Wukong again, because they knew, of course, it was going to be him. Like, I know having a new #1 hero within me, because and not seeing much of me will make you nervous and will give you some doubts. But I assure you, I will uphold that #1 title to the best of my ability, and heck, maybe even better. But just wait and see. And if you are ever within need of help, then just call my name. I promise, I will save you. And then so many people have questions and whatnot, and Deku just raises his hand. I'm sure many of you all have questions, and I have a lot of answers for you all. But as of right now, I need to pass the microphone back to All Might, because he has more things that he wishes to say. As he passes the microphone back to All Might. For the foreseeable future, I will be continuing up my hero work, but do not worry. My hero work will be limited now, as I will be part-time working within the Hero Commission, basically giving my services there whenever it's needed. They can have an outside perspective on how to run things from the inside. And so questions after questions would storm Sun Wukong, and Deku would pretty much answer them. So, oh lord, Deku can't, and whenever Deku gets asked what is his quirk directly, Deku honestly has to say no comment, because he can't expose anything right now. But he'll gladly answer some other questions. What's your favorite color? Red? Pretty much stuff like that. Like, how old are you? Deku says he's like 19, about to be 20 soon. And then they ask like more crazy questions. And then they ask, how tall is he? 8'4". Damn. So yeah, moving on. But instead, Deku's actually still growing. Yep. You know what? Screw that. Deku had actually grown. So instead of 8'4", screw it. He's 10 feet tall now. He's 10 feet tall. That's scary. He's 3 feet towering. He's towering 3 feet over All Might. Yeah, that's practically scary, my guy. Dang, you got like people that are like 6 feet tall, 7 feet tall, but you got Deku who's a whopping 10 feet tall. He's a freaking, yeah, like I said, I'm giving Deku that full-on godly look. He's a god amongst mortals walking amongst them. Scary. So that means Deku's taller than the Hulk, my guy. God damn, because the Hulk is just 9 feet tall. Deku's a whole foot taller than the Hulk. Fuck it, it's fun. And keep in mind, since Deku looks like Broly, because he's like bulk, he has that same level of bulk and everything. A 10-foot tall hulking monster that looks like Broly. Holy crap, he's scary. But remember, he's still Sun Wukong, and he's still got that signature smile. So everything works out okay. For now. So anyway, where could we possibly go to next? Well, the next thing would be Island, like the Tale of Two Heroes movie. And honestly, well, Deku would get invited over there, as David Shield would personally invite Deku after hearing about him from the news and All Might. He would invite him basically a grand tour and basically a stay at the resort for a while, because I mean, you got to incentivize the guy to come there more. So Deku would gather his harem, and he would bring his mom there too, because why not? So they would all go to Island and meet David Shield and Melissa. Even other heroes from different countries would be there. Even some from like hold on, let me think. You got some like from Kansas, Iowa, Alabama. God, Jesus. You got some from like Asia, from the north. You got some from Canada, all over. Like, even Star and Stripe is there. And the other, like, 30 heroes, well, multiple heroes that Deku I met on the other island, they're there as well. Nice. So whenever they do that little mini robot training, it's pretty much a whop. Deku clears it without even moving. It's literally 0.000001 seconds. No one's ever beaten that record. So, oh boy. I don't really know what else to tell you guys next, except Deku's gonna have to move on to comic book characters next. But I don't want to do that right now in this part, because I feel I want to save it. I want to savor that moment for the next part. And keep in mind, this is going to be awesome. All right, so what could possibly be the next best thing? Ooh, I got it. Okay, well, in case you guys are wondering what happens on Island, yes, Class 1A members and all of Shiketsu's is there, because of course they're there, and still some of Class 1A members are there as well. But the Island thing gets stopped before it even starts to go crazy, because Deku would recognize some people that aren't even on here, and they have ill intentions, and the Great Sage would start to alert him of that. So Wolfram and his entire gang gets taken down before their operation even starts. Like, at all. But, hey, Deku solves that problem easily. And I know you guys might say this is a cop-out to, the whole movie. I mean, but look who we're dealing with. This is the Sun Wukong. Deku pretty much grew. He's a 10-foot-tall hulking monster. He's literally a god of anime now, and next he's gonna be the god of fiction itself, because we're moving on to literal comic book characters, and there's not really much anyone can do against that. Yes, I'll flex out more of Deku's abilities, and I'll let more of his soldiers fight, because Deku's been fighting for a long time. So I'll look at the My Hero Academia timeline, and the next few gates will be comic book heroes, and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, what would be next? It would be the teachers versus students, but like I said, Deku doesn't have to go through that. He's already got his official hero license, and he's recognized as Japan's new #1 hero. So Deku's pretty much already gotten his end game done as of right now in the My Hero Academia lifeline, but he still has a long way to go with the Great Sage and everything else. So, what's next that I can think upon this? Oh yeah, next would be the Forest Training Camp and, the All for One battle. But we're not going to get into that right now, because it's almost been an hour, and I don't really want to get into that as of right now. So with that being said, I think we're going to end it right here. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you have, then you guys know what to do. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your friends' parents. You turn those post notifications on, and make sure you turn those bell post notifications on. That way you guys are notified every time I make a video. It's always free. You can always unsubscribe later, but please don't. We're on the road to 400 subs and 500. Come on, guys. I know we can make it there. I know it's very hard to do this, but remember, we've got a long way to go. And Alex Langton, you know who you are, my guy. Thank you for those video ideas out there, and because of that, and I'll definitely give you a shout out, because you're basically the originator and creator of the next few what ifs I'm going to be making. So with that being said, you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Peace, guys.
She likes it when I hit, when I tap what? Ay, shawty's the same, not without me, she ain't function. Running out the game, I don't got no time for love. Gotta stick to your lane, I don't wanna hear you bugging.